Northwest Provincial Government will join the country and the globe today in commemorating World AIDS Day under the theme, Let Communities Lead. Officials are offering health, education and screening services to community members in Huhudi township. Refilo Seboko is there. Refilo, are you standing by to tell us what it is we're seeing and hearing this hour?
What is happening at this moment in time, the official program has started to do with the different stakeholders offering their messages of support in commemoration of today's World AIDS Day, remembering those that are living with HIV, those that have passed on as a result of HIV, those that are still scared to disclose their status because of the stigma, the stereotype mentalities that is still there. This is according to some of the speakers that are here. And what is happening right now is a session where different MECs are giving feedback in terms of service delivery issues. A little bit earlier, we saw one community member trying to disrupt the program because they were raising issues of where we are here in the Dr. Ruth Sekhomuthi Mumpati. You remember that this is an area where that 38 million rand check had been making use, but they were also asking that they don't know how is it that had happened, considering that this area has a lot of service delivery challenges. And that's why we are seeing at this moment in time different MECs are giving feedback in relation to the addressing service delivery challenges. But allow me to welcome Pastor Neo Moepi to talk to us about, earlier today, Pastor Moepi, you went together with different officials to one of the grave of one of the activists that used to speak and fight in relation to HIV and AIDS issues. But you were also sharing the story of how she was treated on her last day.
No, thank you very much to your viewers. This morning we went to the family house of the late Kidiboni Sejadikobo in Huhudi, led by the MEC for Health and other senior officials in the Department of Health and other departments, including the municipality, local and district. That is a woman who lived all her life until her late 50s, living with HIV openly, encouraging communities to go and test and take their treatment without any fail. But when she died, being a member of this church that I will not mention, because the church did not do any harm, it was an individual priest who decided to mistreat and discriminate against this woman, even at the point of death, by refusing to run the funeral of Kidiboni Sejadikobo. Her body was left in the church without anybody to officiate the funeral, having refused to accept her on Friday in a family home, to remove her body to the church and all that. No reason, without anybody saying it, because it was during COVID-19. From her alteration, the priest with the children and the family, you could hear and pick it up, because I did not want to get too much close to that issue. I was mourning as a leader of Kidiboni, her passing. It was around Kidiboni having lived with HIV. It was like her body was going to contaminate them in any way whatsoever. I don't really understand why she treated her in that way. She could have just said, no, I will not be able to bury her, so that the family can prepare nicely another priest to do that.
And on a day like this, Tate Moepi, in commemoration of World AIDS Day, how should, stereotype mentalities or even stigma and discriminations that are still there be addressed?
This stigma and discrimination exists because people themselves, they've got what we call self-hate. They can't even now, we are in Huhudi. There's a person next door who's got a tank full of water. The neighbor doesn't have water. The neighbor can't give the other person water to drink. That is the type of South Africans that we are having. People who depend entirely on government and they can't do things themselves. Stigma and discrimination is self-centered. It is something that people are not born of. It is a choice that people are taking to saying, you are gay, you are a sex worker, you are living with disability and stuff like that, so I'm going to undermine you and look down on you. It is a choice that people are making. And Nelson Mandela, our father of democracy, has always encouraged us to activate that spirit of Ubuntu. And our problem is not lack of education, our problem is not poverty, our problem is not government, our problem is us, Africans. We are failing to love one another and show love to each other, even at the point of death. I think that is where the problem is. COVID-19, I thought, could have taught us that we need each other more than we can ever imagine. But today, we want to thank the government of the province, especially the Department of Health, MEC, for going to the family and apologize on behalf of the church, and also go to the grave, lay the wreath, and commit to take the kids to school, including making sure that the family will be taken care of, not only today by food parcel, but on monthly basis, make sure that the family's well-being is taken care of, including making sure that even those that are living near where Kidiboni lives, they also receive government services. MEC has committed, on behalf of government, that we are going to build a wall of remembrance where people who have suffered stigma and discrimination will be written, their names will be written, and every now and then we will celebrate like we have celebrated Gugu Dlamini after what happened to her. We have our own Gugu Dlamini in the northwest, and it's Kidiboni Sejadikoba, and we'll never forget that woman.
There seems to be also an issue of how the far-flung areas, the rural areas, are forgotten in terms of services that speaks to HIV and AIDS, health services in particular. What is happening? What should be done so that people from your Huhudi area kind, far-flung rural areas get to be reached?
We've got the mines in Bojanala, we've got the mines in Dr. KK. These mines, like Al Gold, in Ngagamudurumulema, between Ngagamudurumulema and Tswai. They are the mines that have the workers coming from RSM, in particular at Taung and other parts of Taung. Our call to government during preparation of the World AIDS Day, as the AIDS Council has been, we want a summit where we are going to engage these mining companies and agree on how best can we bring resources to cater for the needs of the people in this district, because this is the only district where you don't have PEPFAR doing anything, where you don't have any developmental partner doing anything. Yet, 80% of the workers in the mines are coming from this district. And that call has reached the ears of Premier Bushimape, has reached the ears of the leader of government business, Ndate MEC Nonomaloi. And in no time, before the end of the financial year, we would have met in the AIDS Council and call mining companies to sit down and discuss ways and means. Mark my words, before the end of the financial year, the Northwest government, led by the AIDS Council, will pronounce all the interventions that are going to take place here, so that we don't just see an influx of people in Bojanala from RSM, yet no development coming to this district.
Thank you so much for your time. Neo Moepi, an important discussion that needs to happen to do with different stakeholders on how to deal with issues of AIDS, HIV and AIDS, but also on how a call for communities that lead these kind of programs, they need to be at the forefront so that their voices can be heard. The program is still ongoing and we'll keep you updated as soon as the official statement in relation, or the address in relation to today's commemoration happens. We'll keep you updated together with other news that is after this break.